Hello and welcome back to the Minnesotan Sports Podcast. My name's Connor Philippi. This is another one another raw reaction I'm going to be recording from kind of a random place because we went to we went to a pumpkin patch today, and I was kind of checking my phone the whole time, and then I ended up watching the whole end of the game once it got to that point. So I didn't watch the whole thing, but just based on what I saw, I can give some insights. So at the beginning, in the first half, we looked like we were almost going to finally pull off like a really good, complete game where we just go into our home field against an inferior opponent and just kick their butts the whole game long and just come out with a very, decisive victory by more than 14 points. We were up 21-3 at one point. Justin Jefferson had over 100 yards even just in the first half. I think he had like 90 by the end of the first quarter. And then we were just on the entire first half. And then going into the second half, the same kind of thing happened that happened against, I guess it hasn't really happened so far this year because, it kind of happened against the Saints, you know what I'm saying, where we play really well in the first half and then it kind of falls apart. It seems like we pick a half. Like we either launch a big comeback in the second half or we get up big in the first half and let the other team mount a big comeback. But at the end of the day, we got the win. Kirk Cousins running the ball a few times in that last drive. Although he did throw a costly interception, and he looked kind of frazzled in the second half, which I'll talk about more in detail on Tuesday. But although he looked frazzled, he did have a lot of great opportunities to, make some things happen out of the pocket. And there was that really good play on, I think it was either the 3rd and 5 or 4th and 5 in that last drive, where he stepped up in the pocket and he ran. And it didn't look pretty when he was running because he's not a mobile quarterback, but he got the 5 yards. In games past, he might have overthrown a receiver that wasn't open instead of going for it himself in that situation. So that was a huge play and ended up prolonging that drive, and we ended up getting that eventually game-sealing touchdown. So a lot of things to dissect. At the end of the day, we got another win. The last now 3 games of our 3 wins in a row have been just nail-biters to the very end, and we just seem to have a flair for the dramatic. But like I've been saying, last year we had those dramatic finishes and we lost all of them, and now this year we're winning all of them. So it's a step in the right direction. And if we can figure out how to play like we did in the first half all game long, and we can get Kirk to be like taking risks down the field, throwing the ball downfield the whole game long instead of just doing that until we have a comfortable lead and just sitting on it, then we can really do well and win a lot more games than we'd think. So that was a good game all around. There's a lot of things to work on again. Offensive line looked a little worse today than they have in games past, but at the end of the day, we're 4-1. Now we get to go into Miami. I can't imagine Tua will play. Obviously, for the sake of him, I hope he's feeling better as soon as possible. So like if he does come in and play, it means that he's feeling better. So, at least there would be that. But if he doesn't play, we'd be in a very favorable situation with Tua out with Teddy Bridgewater playing, because we all know Teddy Bridgewater's not really the guy anymore. But we'll have to see what happens. We'll preview that matchup after we hear the injury reports and everything. But for now, Vikings win, improved to 4-1, and the Packers lost against the Giants in London, which means that we now technically have a 2-game lead on them for the division since we have the tiebreaker. So all that's great, and I'll be breaking it all down on Tuesday. I'm actually going to hold myself to actually doing a full Week 5 breakdown this week. So I'm actually going to do it, I promise. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the flip side.